over your head and say, I am she-woman.
I'm she-woman.
You're my hero. Take care. All right, awesome. So we had cheese, crackers. What else? Peanuts.
I get jerky.
Jerky. Well, it's not really beef jerky. It's this cool beef stuff that we bought at the at Costco. Some pistachios, and bam, no more dark clouds, and the big shiny red ball is back. So now we can go back out over this way. Oh, I didn't notice. Does this like go all the way out?
They were owned by the same. No, the one.
This is pretty awesome.
On the other side of
I didn't see this. Huh. Wow. Another Community Preservation Act project. This is pretty cool. All right, let's go. I can go anywhere? Oh my God. I love the freedom of this marriage. What? What? It's really crazy. I mean, I'm sure all those rocks up there are the man-made part. But the floor here, this is pretty nature. This is like really, really great soil actually to walk in with the occasional rocks. It is, let's see, I believe the moon is quarter moon right now. And heading towards new moon. So maybe one of you can tell me whether it's new moon or full moon that has the lowest low tides and the highest high tides. I believe that it is new moon versus full moon that produces the lowest low tides, but I'm not sure. Regardless, in about 7 days the moon will be at that stage, and we'll be able to report on the lowest, how low the low is low. Yeah, that's awesome, right? So here's the sky now. You see, this is one of these moments that I desperately need in my life to acknowledge, as well as ideally repeat, because it reminds me to be patient, which I'm not great at. And it's cool because, you know, I have these moments and then I reflect on it and I'm like, wait a minute, so you're telling me all I had to do is go to the car and basically eat snack and have snack time with my wife, and now the weather is what one would argue is called perfect. That little girl was so cool, and the fact that she lives in Hingham, I think to myself, man, that young lady has a really good leg up on life and opportunity, and that just warms my heart. And with any luck, she will have the desire. It sounds quite like her parents are quite committed to her learning. It's just, I don't know, that's just sort of something that I was able to glean, even though there was a short amount of time that we were there with them. But yeah, I like seeing the engagement. And anyway, I'm back over here because I want to see, Joe, if that rock, oh yes, there it is in the distance, and in fact I believe it is touchable and it is countable. So right now I'm taking advantage of the intense friction that is provided by these barnacles, which might allow me to go all the way out there and make it count. Who's with me? Mike, what did you do in the summer as a kid? This, just without a GoPro? Yeah, so while I do appreciate the fact that there is friction available, the jump from there to there to there, I'm pretty limber and I'm not in horrible shape, but I can tell you right now that after having issues with my back, I can almost guarantee you that not going out there will be of benefit to my back. So unfortunately, the adventure is going to go elsewhere. There's part of me that really wants to crawl through there, and there's another part of me that's like, or not. God, guys, it's so quiet. Just awesome. I know that there are many other places, and certainly in the United States, like this. And quite frankly, Joe, there's probably several of them near where you live. There are areas of Florida that I say to myself, man, if I were ever to move back to the US, because of course I would want to duplicate this year round. And unfortunately, I can only duplicate this for about 3 months out of the year. 2.5 months. Three, maybe 3. Mid-July through mid-September. I think we're gonna get lucky this year. But yeah, although there's no, I'm trying to think if there's rock like this, like really rugged shore. I mean, this is not, you know, this sand, there's no sand here, right? This isn't picturesque beach. But man, you go to Naples, that's like a 2-hour walk, man, on pretty nice sandy beach. Well, here's one for you, Joe. Dude, if I were, let's say I'm in Naples, can I mean, not quite literally, but maybe, if I had enough water with me, can I walk all the way to Tampa on the beach? Maybe not. Maybe to get to Tampa, I mean, I'd have to walk way inland, right, to get to Tampa from there, because I would need to go around St. Petersburg. I can't think of the topology right now in my mind, mainly because I'm here and I'm enjoying this. So why don't I live in the moment, and why don't I talk about where I am right now and how I'm enjoying it right now. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of Robbie, and Walking in My Shoes Thailand, his new his YouTube channel, which I think he's at like 1,500 subs. So I'm stoked for him. And I saw that he had subscriptions turned on. That was interesting. I mean, I know that's available, right? Once you do 4,000 hours and you do over 1,000 subs. And I don't know, I'll have to join to find out what he's offering, because I'm always curious what my friends offer and what the value add is. And you know, don't think I'm speaking out of turn, but it's not like Robbie or I need the money, right? But it would be neat to be able to, well, first of all, it is awesome and neat to be able to spend smoothie money that Joe gives Gracie and I. And to let you know, actually, I spent some of your smoothie money, Joe, the other night on a black raspberry cone with Jimmy's. Now, I'm really curious, feel free to put this in the comments, if you guys know what with Jimmy's means, because you say Jimmy in different parts of the country and it means very different things. So I'm really curious if you guys know what that means. If you get an ice cream cone with Jimmy's. I'll give you a hint for those of you that I've heard use the word Jimmy in a different way. No, it's not wrapping a condom around my ice cream. So, next choice. And it was a single scoop ice cream, the black raspberry. Let me tell you something about New England, in my experience. A lot of people will say, no, it's Chicago, but there is excellent pizza around here. Even like the chain Loser Pizza is like really good pizza. We had Papagino's pizza, pepperoni pizza the other day. Actually, on the 4th of July, we grabbed it on the way home, and it was really decent. But you have to remember that I'm comparing it to the pizza that's available in the Philippines, which of course all of it is disgusting. And much of the pizza that's available in Thailand is not exceptional by any means. There are a few places absolutely in Bangkok, it's international, so you can get international food in Bangkok in a number of places. You can get great Mexican food in Bangkok. It's not cheap, but you can get it. And you can get good pizza in Bangkok and it's not cheap. But a large pepperoni here, which basically fed Gracie and I and my mom later on that evening. Actually, Gracie and I got 2 meals out of it. Mom had a piece for dinner. $20 for a large pizza. Anyway, it was really good. The other thing that's really good here, and why I'm talking about it, and thank you again, Joe, for the black raspberry ice cream cone, is the ice cream. I have had like gourmet ice cream in Thailand. A chain that provides gourmet ice cream, one could argue, is like Haagen-Dazs, right? Maybe in Thailand. But even other like California, for example, like you go to like a Ben & Jerry's, or you go to like even a Cold Stone, you know, where they make it, Cold Stone Creamery, and it's still not as creamy. The ice cream here is excellent. And I would argue that the pizza around here is really good too. And thus, I don't lose weight when I come back to New England. Although, if I were to keep on walks like this, I might have the opportunity to. If you saw my World's End video, you know how much I love that area. But I love doing this too. And the other reason that I really want to take Urice here, for no other reason than Gracie, you know, frequently will say, "Oh my God, Urice would love it here." I'm like, done. You know, it's too bad that I can't just wiggle my nose like Bewitched and make Urice's passport the only document combined with a smile that she needs to be able to enter the United States. Sadly, it doesn't work that way, but it does look like, now that Gracie and I are married, and she's had her B1, B2 tourist visa for several years, and had it for about 2 years, actually, before we decided to get married. I believe that the I-135, is that right? Or I-130? I can't remember the form that you fill out once you're here. There's 2 things. We need to have Gracie, which I'm sure you can see way over there. We have to have Gracie fill out an amendment, I believe it's what it's called, an amendment of status, or a change of status. I can't remember exactly the wording they use, but basically we want to migrate her from a tourist to a permanent resident, which really, if you think about it, is a big delta. And it's not necessarily accurate because, I mean, one could argue I'm not a permanent resident. You know, I spend more time cruising in and out, right? Which is really funny if you think about it, because as a resident of the United States who spends less, certainly, than 6 months here a year, they sort of allow me this privilege to get in and out of the country faster. So they're almost like, okay, well, yeah, this is your permanent resident, but if you want to travel even more internationally, we got this program for you. Trusted Traveler, part of the Trusted Traveler program. We have global entry, and we allow you to come back into this country less than 60 seconds, dude. No line for you. All you gotta do is pay us $100 and do a background check that is significant. Anyway, so I'm renewing that like in a couple weeks, but it's good for 5 years. And I'm really psyched about that. Yet, if my wife, who then can actually apply for global entry because of her permanent residence, which is kind of interesting. But then I hear people say, well, yeah, but with a green card, if you leave the country for more than 6 months, coming back in is a real pain in the ass. Well, then why do you make global entry available to them? So I'm not quite sure if that is the case or not, but we're definitely going to try that. Then, of course, the fantasy would be to get Urice some degree of green cardish ability to enter and exit the United States with absolute ease and zero question, and then get her the global entry edition, because like I said, I've never spent more than 60 seconds in line getting back into the United States with global entry. So shit, there are some days where I was coming back into the United States and I'm like, I would literally pay $100 right now to get back in the United States. This line is so long and I'm so not in the mood to wait. And basically it's $20 a year. It's $100 for 5 years for global entry. So I honestly don't know why everyone doesn't do it. I don't know. Everyone who gets a passport, I absolutely encourage them to get global entry. Basically, just Google TTP, Trusted Traveler Program. That's pretty gigantic houses over there, eh? I'm gonna search out Gracie and find out where she might have ended up. Paradise, right, honey?
Yeah.
Big time.